Hi, my name is Kelly, and I donated a kidney 2.5 years ago to my husband. So my first introduction to kidney disease, which I knew nothing about, was about 11 years ago when my husband was not feeling well at all and went for tests and tests and tests, and then finally was rushed to the hospital and they told him that he had kidney failure. He was very, very young. He was in his early 30s, and we were married and we had no children at the time. My husband had a kidney transplant about 11 years ago, and it was his sister that donated. And I remember when she decided to donate her kidney at the time, I was in awe of her. I could not believe that she was going to do something so generous to save my husband's life. And the feeling of watching her do what she did was unbelievable. And I still in awe of her today. So fast forward a few years, and my husband and I were moving country. We now had two little girls, 6 and 3. We were moving to a new country, new language, new school, new house. Everything was new. And we were just trying to get sorted and settled in. And I could tell that he was not feeling himself. And we were told that he would need another transplant, but probably within the next year. But then as the weeks went on, we were told he needed a transplant as soon as possible. So with everything else going on in our life, now we had to find a donor. So we started kind of feeling people out, and it was never going to be me because I had the kids to take care of, plus I had him to take care of when he got home. And it was just, we were definitely not going to choose me, although I wanted to donate. I had no issue, but it was just in terms of how are we going to manage everything? How can we both do this if we've got kids? Who's going to take care of our kids? Who's going to take care of everything? Who's going to take care of us? And please keep in mind that we were doing it in a different country. So we actually found a donor, but kidney donation is never straightforward. So we had the donor, and that donor decided not to donate, and then we were really left with, oh my God, what are we going to do? So I said, okay, there's no discussion. I'm going to go. I'm going to be tested. I'll do this. We'll figure it all out. Somehow we'll figure this all out. So every time we went down to the clinic to be tested, they kept telling us, oh, you're a perfect match. And it's funny because my husband and I are like, we grew up 6,000 miles away. He's like completely opposite ends of the world. So every time they came back and they said, you're a match, you're a match, you're a match, we were like, yay. Like, we were so happy, but we were also like, oh God, like we really are a match. Like, this is really going to happen. And we're going to have to really figure some stuff out because we got a lot of people to take care of. So once that we figured out that I would be the donor, we had to arrange our family affairs, which was complete village, taking over village. Because when you're a donor, you have to have somebody with the donor, somebody with the recipient, and you have to have somebody to take care of each person. The issue was that we were doing it out of country. So we needed somebody to mind our kids in their home country. We needed one person to go with me. We needed one person to go with my husband. That would be there for my husband 6 weeks. That would be there 2 weeks with me. My husband had 6 different people on rotation flying in from all over the world. I had my whole family juggling, but I have to tell you, it all worked. And so if you're a parent and you don't understand how it's going to work and I'm telling you, when you tell somebody that you're donating a kidney, they will move heaven and earth to help you and to help your family. I just also want to bring up something that I went through. And probably most donors go through, or maybe they don't, I don't know. But you may go through frustration. You may go through, in my situation, I was, there was a lot of drama surrounding my donation, drama with the original recipient. There was, and it created a lot of frustration. It created a lot of stress. It created a lot of something that's already in a stressful situation. And all I can say is that the teams at the clinic, don't just use them for, for the health and for the blood work. Use the social worker. My social worker, I have to say, was, she made it extremely easy for me to make this decision when I was going through hard times. They're always there for you to call. And no matter what you say, it's fine. It's normal. You're a donor. You may get nervous. You're going to get frustrated. You could go through these, like, I want to do this, but I'm scared about this, or I want to, talk about it. And the more you talk about it, the more you realize that, it's okay. So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that because it was extremely important in my journey, and it may be very important in yours. Leaving for the surgery was very stressful. I can't lie, my parents were quite stressed. We were a young married couple with a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old who were both going to be on the table side by side. But it, for us, I think I never worried about the surgery. I wanted my husband to be better. I think my main worry was about my children. That's the only thing I could think about. And I think my coordinators, everybody can tell you, even my surgeon, I said, I have 2 small children now, make sure everything goes okay. That was all I really thought about. So for me, I was not nervous to donate. I had seen it happen before with my sister-in-law. She was perfectly fine. So the one thing for us was leaving our children. And if you are a parent and you don't know what to tell them, I'll just tell you what I told my children. They were young, they were 6 and 3. I said that daddy's going for an operation because they knew that. And I just said that I was going to help. I didn't exactly specify what kind of help I was giving. And when I came back and told my 6-year-old daughter, she was like, could you have not told me this, mommy? But it was the best thing at the time. So we kind of figured that out. And the social worker also will help you decide what you should tell your children. So one thing that I need to mention if you're considering to do donation is that your team that works with you in terms of doctors, coordinators, social workers are so phenomenal, and you can literally tell them anything. And I know for myself that up until the minute you get in that operating room, they tell you, if you want to have a change of heart, if you have a change of mind, or you feel pressured or anything, we will sort this out, and it will not be something that you will end up feeling bad about. And they just said to me that, but when you're on the operating table, we can't kind of find an out for you. Then that's going to be you that's going to have to say that you've decided not to. But they make it impossible for you to do it if you have any concerns or any fears that you want to pull out at any time. So the day of the surgery, the very early morning of the surgery, it kind of sunk in what was going on. And I was a little nervous, but I wasn't nervous to the point of, I don't want to do this. It was more that I just wanted it to be over with. I just wanted it to be done and just to, start recovering and get back to my kids. So I just remember walking, my mom and my family left us, and we walked away from them kind of hand in hand down the hallway. And it was actually a moment. It was something where kind of sunk in, like, here's my husband who's pretty well dying right now. And I have this amazing opportunity to save his life. Once the surgery was finished and I was in the recovery room, I don't know how long it took, I have to be honest, but I think from start to finish, it's like about 4 hours, or not exactly sure. But I just remember looking up and looking at my mom and one of my very good friends and saying, oh my God, did I just do that? Like kind of amazed that, oh my God, they just took a kidney out of me. And then I was so loopy that the second thing I said was, I don't think I fed the fish this morning. So they definitely sedate you very well. And I was feeling absolutely no pain that night. But later on, obviously, there was some pain, but it was very manageable. And honestly, I think my surgery was in the morning. I got it by the time I got into my bed upstairs was maybe about 4 o'clock. And by that night, I was walking. I got up and I said, I want to walk. I don't want to, I don't want to lie in this bed too long. I want to get things going. And that's probably the best thing for you to do. I want to say the most maybe difficult thing for me after the surgery was that I was extremely tired. Because you've given a kidney, your other one is now growing a little bit and everything is kind of coming together, and it's exhausting. Your body is exhausted from, having to adapt to it. So it was very frustrating for me because I'm not one that gets tired a lot, and I'm a go, go, go person. So for me to actually be tired all the time was extremely frustrating. You get a bit of cabin fever, but you got to realize that it's going to take you a while to recover. And the recipient, on the other hand, probably will feel a lot better than you will. So that was something I was not expecting at all. So we're 2.5 years now post-surgery, and I just want to tell you that my life hasn't really changed very much. The only thing that has changed is I've become the person that people are in awe of because I saved my husband's life, which makes me extremely embarrassed most of the time. But it is something that I need to keep reminding myself about, that I actually did this wonderful thing. And there's not going to be many times in your life where you're going to be able to save a human being. And it's a little crazy because, a little while after the surgery, you stop thinking about things because everybody's healthy and happy and you get on with your life. So it's not something that hangs over you, but, you do always remember it, and you have to keep reminding yourself, because being a donor is an amazing thing. It's an amazing feeling. You can always tap into it when you have like a down day and things aren't going your way. You say, oh yeah, but I'm a donor. I saved someone's life, which is great. The only thing I can say is that talk to the people around you. Talk to your teams that are working with you. I think they are the best people that can give you the best advice. And talk to any donors and ask as many questions as you want, and never feel pressured into it. And your life will only get better from it. I am very healthy today. My numbers are amazing. My creatinine numbers, my kidney function is practically down to what it was before. So I'm very happy. My husband is leading an amazing life, super healthy, and we couldn't have expected a better outcome. And many of these outcomes are like this. So don't hesitate to look into it, and it's the best feeling in the world.